that's when I really started researching Ollie. And God, I just loved everything I read. It was one of the most compelling, maybe not relatable superhero Genesis stories. It comes from such a human and making money and millionaire and achieve success, or depending on the legend, the archaeologist, but then gives it all up to be a benevolent savior of the universe, and doesn't even have any really magical powers, just mastered, which is a real superhuman power. And I'm always impressed when someone I know masters something. So it's really cool. I think he's a great example.
Are you intentionally picking these asshole roles, man?
Yeah, that's what my mother asks me all the time. But here's the funny thing. This is the least dick I've played in about 5 years. This is a good guy, man. Yeah. For me, this is a great guy.
So he's not Ollie McCoyle, then he's...
Probably. I'm sorry. That's good. It was essential. Thank you.
I was going to say, one of the kind of earliest things I remember seeing you in was in Psych.
Oh, sure.
Mary.
Yeah.
And I remember then seeing you in Westworld and being like, oh my God, it's Mary. And
oh, yeah,
Mary Lightly. I have this thing with my brother where every time we see him anything, we're like, it's Mary Lightly. And that fandom is so kind of dedicated to that show. How do you move through your career with these iconic characters? Do you find that is defining? I mean, you just said you played assholes now for the last 5 years. Is there a variation that you are trying to seek out? Do you feel that limits you, or is it kind of welcoming to be remembered for these roles?
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't really choose. You don't really get to pick a path. I chose what I wanted to do, and I thought I would be doing theater. By the way, my name is Mary. My father's name is Mary. My father before his name is Mary, and my father before him is Craig.
Yes.
Thank you. Such a good line.
That is my comfort show.
James Roday is
absolutely
one of my best friends.
Oh my God,
and he's
amazing.
everything that you would hope. He's the sweetest peach. But yeah, no, I find interesting, troubled, flawed characters really fun to play. Luckily, and normally you kind of get pigeonholed, and I've been. Yeah, I play a lot of assholes, but I get to play a lot of different things. And so someone saying, they like me in Westworld and It's Always Sunny, I mean, you couldn't get more opposing performances.
Right.
And so I love that people respond to it. And Mary Lightly is one of my favorite parts.
Is there I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For your role as Ollie, so he's supposed to be older in this, correct? He's going to be John's mentor.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing the voice acting for that, how do you age up your voice?
I'm older than him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
By being old.
So, yeah. But it's there's all kinds of you can apply affectations with age you're going to be a little less lubricated, so you just have a little bit of a drier scratch your throat. There's all kinds of little tricks depending on whatever the adjustment is you're looking to make.
Because he's kind of grizzled in some of the series where he's supposed to be the older, wiser, harder.
Yeah.
Oliver, so
Yeah. He's less grizzled. Yeah.
What do you like about this character versus other, other versions of this character that might have been in this medium? This particular Green Arrow.
Why is our Green Arrow better? Let me think.
Because you voiced him?
Yes.
The answer?
Yes, the man playing him is great. Yeah. No, that's probably the least he's got going for him is that I'm playing him. But I think that the writer just really put together such a the way he's able to cut the tension, diffuse tension, and it's such a pretty tense story that we share with you with an incredible, crazy, surprising ending. But it's what were we saying?
What makes this character?
Oh, right. Yeah, so I just feel like they really brought together that quality of cutting this tension of this huge story with ooh, hot girl's a bit much. You know, like just he always says the right thing to keep everybody cool, which is pretty arrowy, but I feel like they nail it best. And these guys.
Did you do a lot of research prior to this, or did you trust the writing to create your character?
I trusted the writing. I didn't research too much other executions and performances, but I did research the genesis of the character and the history and the different legends of Ollie. And that was just great. I mean, just the more you know about something you're playing, the more kind of instinctual the choices you make will be, more specific to that person once you know more about them, obviously, it's acting. But yeah.
How are you with the bow and arrow?
I could probably get three out of the bullseye. I mean, I went to camp like every summer, so I have some time with the soft-ended arrows. How about you?
Oh, very little.
Okay.
My daughter picked it up for a little bit.
Oh, that's soft, buddy.
Hunger Games, all that.
Oh,
kind of
sure,
thing.
sure.
So I flipped. Yeah, didn't really work.
Yeah, I'm surprised to let kids play with those these days.
Well, they're not sharp.
Oh, yeah.
She did put like a hole through a shed. We went through there. It's still there.
That's a good memory.
What's the kind of most challenging part about voice acting compared to the stuff that you've done? Because you said you wanted to do theater. You thought you'd be doing theater.
Yeah, and I
Interested
do. Yeah.
in the different muscles. Elvis was saying that it's training in different muscles. So I guess what was the most challenging thing for you about training that?
It's well, when you're going to shoot a scene with other actors, there's this idea of this little magic, this chemistry that's going to happen as you're revealing your choices, and then they reveal a choice that you really weren't expecting, and then that causes you to have just this improvised choice, and that's often what I think the takes they take, where it's like something magical is happening and it's right now, and with this you need to come in with kind of a projection of what the other actor is doing, because I never met Elvis until today. None of us have spent any time with each other. And so I was just projecting this idea of what I hoped he was doing. And then the result was he was doing what I was hoping he was doing. And I've had a lot of animated jobs where that's not quite the case.
Right. Is that down to the writing, do you think? The writing being...
It's down to the writing, the directing. Directing is essential. I don't think people talk about voiceover directors that much, but they are the guide. They are everything. You have your choices and you have your execution, but they're telling you what everyone else is doing, the tone, the moment. So director is huge. Yeah, voice director.
What would you like to do with that character, like down the road, if you're offered to help work on a screenplay for the next project with Ollie? What would you like to see Ollie doing?
That's a great question. I haven't really thought about that. I suppose there's something where, honestly, I wouldn't mind Ollie being a little bit more exposed to the world. All the other superheroes kind of get the hype. And because I'm so fascinated with the fact that Ollie isn't magical, I would love to see him celebrated by humans in a kind of a larger capacity, the way a Superman or a Batman or whoever, and recognized simply because he is so human, because he's doing it all himself, because it's mastery, and I don't know, see where that takes people.
So if they did a Justice League picture next, then you would be on board with that.
Say again?
If they do a Justice League picture next, you would be on board with that.
I would be. Of course. Yeah.
Well, I grew up reading Justice League comics, so I'm used to the Green Arrow always being important. But I know because of the way the films and the superhero powers are the ones that are more, the kids and stuff like more.
Naturally.
I mean, if you think about Hawkeye from Avengers, it's kind of a running joke with my friends group about he just shoots arrows. But the Green Arrow, it's so much more.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just nerded out.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yay! Air nerdism.
Well, it seems that all these this new version of the stories are actually heading to something bigger. That's why they're doing this origins to lead to potential team up. And I can't imagine Green Arrow not being a part of the team. So they need you back for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a great group. I feel like we'll all be working together quite a bit more, honestly.